Welcome to another segment of SII Motivational Minutes with your host, Dwight Lee. And on this segment, we're going to be briefly discussing Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. I'm going to give you some of my observations and key takeaways of concepts and philosophies and principles that I grasped from the book. I want you to imagine that you're playing with Play-Doh. I want you to imagine that you're playing with flour dough, like you're getting ready to make bread. And then I want you to imagine that you're playing with clay, like you're going to make a pot, a flower pot. So in the Science of Getting Rich, Dr. Wattles talks about this thinking stuff that is molded and shaped, and that every material thing is made out of this thinking stuff. And so that you're supposed to think in a certain way. And it's just very interesting because in one of the segments I shared earlier, in the SII Motivational Minutes, Clyde Bristol from The Magic of Believing talked about how you can basically be reduced down even to the cellular level. You can be reduced down to your thought processes and thinking patterns. And it's amazing that Dr. Wattles is talking about this thinking stuff from which everything is formed, and that it's unmeasurable and it's unlimited, and that everything comes out of this thinking stuff, and that you're supposed to think in a certain way. And the certain way that you're supposed to think is you're supposed to think abundance. You're supposed to think prosperity. You're supposed to think riches. You're supposed to think wealth. You're supposed to think opulence. You're supposed to think elegance, eloquence, extravagance. You're supposed to think more than enough despite outside appearances. And the reason is because a lot of people think that their thoughts are inside their head, but your thoughts are out in the electric magnetic field, the field of energy. So your thoughts are not held in your brain. So it's just amazing that this book, written over 100 years ago, talks about this and discusses this. It's amazing. And then you can even tap back into Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The title alone, Think and Grow Rich, is telling you that your thinking has something to do with your end results, your outcomes, your maturation process, your growth, development, and advancement, because life is about growth, advancement, and full expression. Every cell of your body cries out for expansion, for new experiences, new territory, new feelings, new interpretations, new generalizations, new conclusions, new meaning, expansion. And so this thinking stuff, so everything is made out of your thinking, so do experiment with it. If there are some results that you're receiving that you're not in agreement with, that you wish is better, it can become better, but nothing changes unless something changes. So the thing that has to change is your sensationalized thinking, your emotionalized thinking, your feelingly thinking. And of course, it's going to require action. Don't misinterpret anything that I'm saying. Everything requires action, action, emotion, energy and motion. So, thinking that you would sit around and think about something and that something's going to happen, that's not what this is talking about. What it's talking about is thinking habitually, predominantly, focusing in on your goal, and then whatever intuition or inner learning reveals to you, taking action with that, integrate it into your life, implement it into your life, appropriate it into your life until you receive your next instruction. Listen with the intent to do. listening attentively with the intent to do, and then put it in motion. We've been live on SII Motivational Minutes with your host, Dwight Lee, discussing The Science of Getting Rich by Dr. Wallace D. Wattles. Thank you for tuning in.